Guys, so our customer has a leak and their mowing electronic shutoff valve keeps notifying them and shutting the water off. So first step is I come here, check the meter, moving. So I'm gonna do some isolation tests. Put our gauge on here. This is kind of a funky flow meter temperature gauge. I like the oil ones typically, but this will work. And let's go see that meter again with that shut. We have no movement. So we know it's past that valve. Now we can do our pressure test. Now we have the water back on. This is our line pressure. For those wondering, this is flow when water is actually coming out. And that calculates the amount of flow that's going out. But this is how you do a pressure test. We have the line on right now. That's all shut, that's open, and you shut the feed. So it should be holding. That falling is telling us that we do have a leak past this valve. So turn it back on. Now, judging that all our gate valves work, which again, those do not always work. I would trust ball valves about 98% of the time. Gate valves, 70% of the time. But if you get them real tight, you can have a better chance of it closing. So we'll do our pressure test now with the irrigation shut off and the hot water line. Still dropping. So let's go over everything. If this was a gate valve, you really want to make sure that it works properly. A lot of times they don't close, so they will be kind of like this inside the line. Way to test to make sure your gate valve is working. You're at line pressure, have it shut off. You think you're holding, go inside and open a fixture. In this case, I can open this, drop it to 0, close it again, and just watch. If your gauge starts to go up, you have a bad valve somewhere, and it's not closing all the way. So be aware of that. It throws a lot of people off. So next step, check all the toilets, turn all the angle stops off, see if it happens. Everything isolated, irrigation, hotline. We've tested everything to make sure everything is off. We will do pressure test one more time, but I believe it is on the cold line. Yep, so we're dealing with the cold line leak. So, turns out this line into the home doesn't do anything. It's capped somewhere underground or in the manifold somewhere. This line here feeds the irrigation and then comes back into the home in the backyard. Thought it was 2 different feeds, but literally comes around the house, feeds everything outside, and then went right up there where there wasn't a valve. So I put the valve in there. Very confusing one. So basically just did a massively invasive test, cut out all their lines to find out one was just a dead leg.